Alright, everybody. Welcome to the first tutorial for Unit 2. In this first tutorial, we'll just be creating the slides, we'll be changing the background, and then we'll also change the slide layouts. So first we have to create the slides. If you don't already have it, open up a new blank PowerPoint, just like I have mine here, and make sure the home ribbon is selected. And the first slide that we have is a title slide, obviously, and it's going to be titled Protect Your Good Name. Naturally, this is designed to kind of work alongside of me as I'm doing it, so you can either listen and kind of follow along or watch a little bit and then work up, catch up, and then start again. We don't really need this subtitle for this particular presentation, so if you click on it twice and make sure that you have a solid border around the edge, and then use the delete button, not the backspace button, but the delete button, you can delete that altogether. Next, we want to add a new slide, and we can do that one of two ways. We can pull down the bottom section of this button that you see here and choose title and content, or the default is automatically set to title and content, so either one would work. In the second slide, it's going to be titled Reduce Access to Personal Data. And then if you hold down the control button and hit enter, it'll automatically take you down to the next box. So our first bullet is going to be to shred credit card offers. Hit enter, that'll open up a new bullet for you. Next line is used a locked mailbox. Make sure that you keep up with your spelling. Take a look at each line before you go to the next. Next is mail envelopes inside the post office. And then our last one is remove listing from telephone directory. Okay, the last thing we need to do on this slide before we open up a new one is just highlight the word inside. When we highlight any text in Office 2007, we get this mini toolbar where you can see we can go in and modify the font and do a few other things. We're just going to set this to italics, just the word inside though, nothing else. Okay, we'll go up here and choose a new slide again, just like we did before. And our title is going to read Internet and Security Safeguards. Our first line is going to be install a firewall. Second line, install and update virus protection software. Third line, never respond to phishing email, phishing with a PH. And email should have a dash in there. And then the fourth line is use credit, comma, not debit, comma, cards when shopping. And then we have one more slide that we're going to add, and it's going to be titled Beware of Shoulder Surfers. And shoulder surfers should be in single quotes. First line is going to read shield your hand when entering your PIN. PIN should be all caps. And then the second line should read thieves may be watching with binoculars. Now, I don't know about you, but the one thing I don't worry about when I'm at an ATM is people looking at my PIN number with binoculars, but so maybe you get a chuckle out of that. We've got our 4 slides. We can look at them in normal view, which we see here, or slide sorter view, either one. Slide sorter, as you can see, just kind of gives us a look at everything all together. And then our third little icon down here at the bottom is to actually start the slideshow. But naturally, we don't need that right now. So we'll just go back to normal view. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to change the background style. We can do that by clicking on the Design tab. And you can see a few of the default themes that if we hold our cursor over each one long enough, you can see how each slide is going to look. We could also pull that down and see a few other ones, but for our purposes, all we're going to do is set one of the basic background styles. So over here on the right side of the ribbon, there's Background Styles button. There's 12 options typically, and again, you can hold your cursor over each one and see how they look, but we're going to use the very last one, style number 12, and it's kind of a pin spot or spotlight over a dark background. And when you choose that, it will automatically set them to all of the slides, and that's what we want. That's a good thing. If we wanted to change any of the backgrounds individually, we could just right-click on any of them and go to Format Background. But for our purposes, we're just going to leave it as this. And then the last thing we're going to do is get ready for the next part of the tutorial, and we're just going to change the layout of a couple of these. So we need to have the Home tab selected, and we're going to use this button here that says Layout. So if our title slide is going to stay the same. The next 2 slides are going to be changed to the layout that says To Content. So it should be selected as Title and Content. We're going to change it to Content, and you'll see what it should do is hopefully open up a new box over here on the right with a few links to some popular things that we might want to do later. We're going to do the same thing, change the layout to Content for slide number 3. And then slide number 4, we're going to change it to a completely different one, our very last option here that says Picture with Caption. Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is put in some clip art and some photographs, but we'll save that for the next tutorial. So make sure that you save your work. Save this as Identity Theft, which I've already done, so I'm just going to choose the Save button. If you haven't done this, go to Save As. Save it as a PowerPoint presentation. When you do that, go and find your student drive from the list that I'm showing you here. You should be able to find it somewhere as long as you're connected. If you're not connected, you can save it in My Documents, or you could save it on a flash drive if you have one. But again, we're going to save this as Identity Theft, and we're just going to save over the existing file each time. So that's it for the first tutorial. And if you need some help with inserting clip art and photographs, go ahead and watch the next tutorial.